I have not felt like this since I started my company.
Right.
Like that's
We'll see what you're like at the end of the week.
No, it won't take long. It's only fucking exactly.
Welcome, everybody, to another Outside Crowd podcast. And we're delighted to be here with young Ryan.
Yo.
And young Bill? Yeah, Bill.
Bill!
How we doing, Bill?
I'm good, mate. I'm
Good,
good.
good.
We're back. We're back in business. Let's go.
We're
Let's
back,
get
baby.
it.
yeah.
let's do it.
And you're back here with old me.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday, you, wasn't it?
Thank you,
Hey,
yeah.
glad-
Happy birthday, JB, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
How old are you?
50 plus a bit.
Plus a little
Yeah.
bit.
Plus 10.
So
The
that's-
big
yeah.
6-0, mate.
Well
Big
done,
6-0.
fair play.
Made it. So,
We need it.
Dane.
We
But-
need it.
as we're getting old, well, I'm getting older. I'm trying to. We were deciding on topics to talk about.
Yeah.
And what we thought today would be good to talk about work-life balance because basically you two have been tossing it off on holiday, and you wanted an excuse to tell us about your holiday.
That's very true.
Which we
That-
haven't heard about.
I just got back. That's
And,
why. I just
and
got
so
back
I
today.
suppose the first question is: it today you got back?
Yeah, well, we got back early doors this morning, 3 o'clock this morning, or something like that.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Well, really?
Oh yeah, flying.
Holy moly.
Well,
And you worked today as well?
I worked half the day. I got in. We got in about 2:30. By the time we got to bed, I was home at 3. Like thrown to bed, finished, done.
Bloody
You know,
hell.
3. Yeah, it was.
Well, hold
Go on, go
those
ahead,
sentiments
go
then,
ahead.
because the first question is going to be: do you think you all need to go on holiday at some point? Bit of a stupid question, but let's.
If I can answer that, everybody needs to go now. It's a
Everyone
joke.
needs to go at any point.
It's a joke. I honestly, I cannot express how much I didn't realise I needed that. I can't tell you. I haven't got the words today. You know,
That's going to be useful.
yeah. Let me do it in mind.
We've got half hour to fill.
No, honestly, I was thinking about this on the way back, like the mindset and how I feel and what it was. Because going away, running a business, I was. I was scared because I was like, is everything ready? Nothing's ready. You're never ready. There's always something change. There's always something to do. When, I have been away in the past, I think last year, the year before, I went to visit friends of mine in Canada. And, that was, for an example, that was a friend of mine who had a 2-year visa. And I promised him one night when we and him got together at a wedding. And I said, I promise I'll come out and see you. And he had 2 weeks left on his visa. And I had to go because it was like, because it was, I would have never have gone. I made a promise and I went over. And I went to see him and, I had my phone on me. I was talking to the guys most days and stuff like that. And so it was, I came back and, last year, as I said, last year was tough. 2025 was a tough year for us. And, we're still dealing with 2025 as such this year around. But going...
Sorry, I was just going to cut across you and apologies for that. I was going to ask you, do you find that you tend to sacrifice holidays because of work? So if you're planning your year, will you book your holiday in advance or will you just take it as and when and book a last minute holiday? And then if you do that, do you then sacrifice the holiday? Honestly,
the thing is, I think next year you'll ask me that because I haven't had that opportunity. So, last time, like I said, he rang me and said, I've got 3 weeks left of my visa in a month or two's time. And I'm like, fuck, I better go. This time around, and myself and my girlfriend, we were sitting there and went, do you know what? Let's go away somewhere. Let's do something. We must do something. She wanted to go away. And I said, okay, I'll go. And, unless she'd organised it, I wouldn't have planned it. I didn't plan it. It was just get the work done, get things we needed done for that deadline, and that's what it was. It wasn't.
You went away. So what's the Isle of Grain like?
Caravan was fantastic. No, Corfu, would you believe? Would you believe it was in Greece?
Corfu,
it was absolutely delightful. But what I wanted to say on it was that for the first 3 days, I honestly didn't know how to feel. I didn't know, my mother was saying, "Are you going to bring a book with you?" I thought, that's a great idea. I'll bring a book. I haven't read for a long time.
Don't know how to read.
Don't know how to read, have to learn that again. No, it was like a fantastic Mr. Fox Roald Dahl. You can everything you can spell out.
Read it twice.
It's like, going over there and having a having a couple of days and being like, don't touch my phone. If I pick my phone up, well, be Delord, she looked at me. And I'm delighted that she did, because I was like, yeah, you're right, we're away. Like, put your phone away. And it was only until 3 days in that I went, I have nothing in my head. I have space to just. I didn't want to read a book. I wanted nothing. I wanted to just do nothing. We went somewhere. The food was there all the time, and it was honestly, man, like, it was just something I've never done. I've never had that experience where, want a drink, go get a drink. You know, if you're hungry, go eat. You know, and I do that. You know.
So did you have your phone on?
I did have my phone on.
Did you look at messages, or did you deliberately turn them off?
I deliberately, unless it was my team leader, I was like, no, you know, they can deal with it. You know, unless it was my team leader, Rabbit, you know, if he rang me up, then yes, you know, there was a conversation to be had or anything like that. But, you know, he had it all in hand, and, you know, everything went smooth. We can get onto that as well. There's a bit I want to talk about that as well. But I honestly I've come back with such a different mindset, with such a different, I don't know, an understanding of I'm a human too. You needed that more than you knew. I was standing in the ocean with my own thoughts, and, you know, there's things coming to me, you know, about work. I went, put that away. No, that's not here. That's not this time. This time is holiday. This is not about that. And I put it away. I said, no, put it down. And I was like, I can put it down. The world isn't going to implode. I'm not going to, you know, like, and it was, you know, but it was just like, it's okay. And so I had my 3 days, and after my 3 days I got into it, and it was just so
nice, man.
And it really, really was, and it was so nice.
That's
and
lovely.
To answer your question, yes, everybody should go away and take that time, but make sure they don't have work with them. You know, don't have your work with you. Just you know, you work with your team. Your team are going to be fine. You know. Set your team up with it, whatever they need to do. And, you know, we did that, and everything changed anyway, as it does.
Yeah.
So, but it was just, I can only use the word magical.
Good.
It really, really was.
Excellent. And you're not the only one who went away, are you? You went away, William, didn't you?
No, I went away. But I'm quite well seasoned with a holiday.
Yeah.
You're a holiday veteran.
I go away quite a lot. Like last year, I think I had 9 weeks holiday. This year, what have I done this year? I've been...
There's not 9 weeks in this year to go, is it?
Yeah. What have I done? I was in the Netherlands a couple of weeks ago. That was great fun.
Nice.
Because also my housemate's half Dutch, so he was there as well.
What do you do in the Netherlands?
Well, it was King's Day, so it was like they celebrate the birthday of their king.
Done.
Yeah.
So like they have massive street parties and stuff, and it was great fun.
Whereabouts were you? Where were you staying over there?
So I did a stint in Deventer, and then Rotterdam.
Right.
Went to a festival in a place called Breda, and then at Amsterdam for King's Day, and that was good.
Oh, you've done that well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a beastly tour. It was great. And yeah, it was great fun. But I feel like have I been somewhere else recently? I'm sure I have been somewhere else.
Trouble you have too many holidays.
Yeah, that's the
isn't it?
problem, isn't it? Don't
I
usually
literally
work.
can't remember. I know I've been away quite a bit this year, and I can't think of what I've done.
You've been walking somewhere, or
Maybe. But I'm going away in 2 weeks' time.
Nice.
I'm going to Italy.
Ah.
I'm going to Italy for a wedding in a couple of weeks, which should be good. To Gallipoli, right in the heel of the boot, and which should be good. I've got a lovely suit for it.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Bit of HMRC looking. It was for it was for a work
Touched it up
do.
to one, is it?
No, I'm joking. I bought it for a work do, but it is also. I'm just using it for a wedding.
I'll tell you what, on that, when I remember a while ago when you before you were going to not pack up the business, but you put it on pause for a moment or two. Guys ran it, and then you went away. When you came back, I was thinking about when I came back this time. This was a couple of years ago, when you went did a bit of travelling. You went for a couple of months.
Went to India.
Yeah, to India, and how you came back from India. And had that kind of like, wow. That's
Yeah,
like,
do you feel like you
I
felt like
honestly,
that?
yeah, I wanted to bring it up because I've literally haven't seen you since. So we sat down and turned it
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to chat about.
I think like
You just haven't stopped, have you?
I've had
on
holidays. I've had holidays where it's been really good for minimal intervention from me, and I've had a few. Like there was one last year where the guys were doing a job, and it went a bit wrong, and it was non-stop on the phone, and it was just not It was not relaxing at all, and I was just, it was just, yeah, it was a pain. I was like, fucking, it's ruining my holiday, you know. So like I think like this time I went away, I was very, very keen on making sure that doesn't happen. So like it's
Putting systems in place.
Yeah, passing a lot of responsibility on, and at the end of the day, what did you say?
Putting systems in place there.
Systems
He missed
in
that one.
place.
Yeah, I did, didn't he? I thought he was going to get that.
I just heard Judy laughing. So anyway, so we put a couple of systems in place there, and I just like there's a minimal amount that I can. Obviously, there's questions I can answer, but there's a minimal amount that I can do that I can help you when I'm in a different country. You know, so. I think I have put a hell of a lot of systems in place there where I'm, a lot of the majority of my work is winning work, and then so Charles, he looks at jobs, and when Charles looks at jobs, like I have no involvement anymore because Amy does all the quotes and stuff. It all gets handed over. And go on, JB. What do you want?
No, I was just going to ask a couple of questions on this front.
Questions there.
Practical questions.
Yes.
Do you find that, probably not so much with you, Ryan, but if you're going away on holiday quite a bit, do you ever get the impression that there's any sort of resent or from the team in terms of you being away and thinking,
there's definitely a few jokes that get made about me always being on holiday, which is fine because it's true. So I can't,
But do you find that for some it niggles at certain people?
I don't think
so.
I don't think so because I've always made it quite clear that is literally the reason I have my company is so I can, I can go away a lot. If I, my company could definitely make more money if I never went on holiday. Well, purely because of the amount of money it costs for me to go away anyway. But it's very much I've set it up for a bit more freedom for me, and also with that. There was years and years and years where I didn't have any fucking holidays.
I was just about to say, you put the 7 years
I
in and then do it,
I did literally do it, I didn't go away at all, and then if I did, everything ground to a halt.
And no money come in, yeah.
No money comes, but now, money comes in, it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all I really care about is having, it sounds mad to some business owners that one of the things I like about it is the amount of free time I get, which I never used to get before, so you have to put in the groundwork. But yeah, I think having a business offers you a level of freedom which you probably wouldn't get if you were employed by someone.
Yeah, because I sort of noticed it's slightly different between the two of you, where you're able to take a bit more holiday, but with you currently, like at the moment, there's a lot more reliance of you as
hedge
that
cutting and pruning
leader.
trees is very different from landscaping.
Yeah, they're bigger,
it's
smaller projects.
Massive. There's a massive difference of skill level. Everything like that. It is massively different.
You've offended him, I think.
No. I think
need to.
No, I think there's some practical bits here because
Have a think about it. Response there.
I think that going back to your thing when you're on the phone going, well, what else can I do here? What can I do to help? For me, what I found on this trip away was, anything that did come up, I kind of, I noted it back here, left it, noted it, and was like, right, did we not sign that off before we left? Yes. So then why has action not been taken? You don't feel you have buying authority. Well, that was silly, wasn't it? Because I told you on the Monday, and it's like, I didn't do that. I thought I had to ring you. It's like, you don't. You're a part of the team. I trust you. Do you need the product? Yes, we'll go get it. And it's like I've taken it, and I've got a team meeting on Friday with my two team leaders, a dig out team and a finishing team, and it's like I want to everything that happened while I was away or anything, taking myself away from the situation, having a look back and go, how was it, guys? They go, well, it was okay, but this was a struggle. What do you need? What do you need? What can I do better? Because it's down to management at the end of the day. That's what it is. If I wanted to go away and do something, because I want to, I don't think I could, do as much as Bill, but no, I would. I would like to, at some point. And like Bill said, I set this company up so I can have the freedom to do those kind of things. It's business. It's, you're there holding the baby at the end. If it all went to shit while you're away, you're the one putting the pieces back together. So it's a risk you take. But, we have a great team that are running the things, and it just highlights for me, it gave an opportunity. It gave me an opportunity to highlight little things in management that you're like,
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this better. This can be done better. You know, I'm actually going away again. I'm going away in a few weeks' time with my mother. I haven't been away on holiday with my mother, I think, since I went to Centre Parks when I was 8 years old. You know, like I haven't been on holiday with my mother at all. So my stepfather, he's American, and we're going to go see family over there. And they said, come over. I said, okay. You know, thinking, right. But I'm using this time after my last spate away, having a look at those things and go, right, now we're going to put them into practice when I'm away again. You know, and really looking at it and going, exactly what you said, Bill. What can I actually do here apart from make authority calls?
I think it takes more. Like I think before, because when I first started, like when I was like, okay, I can go away now. There was like problems that would come up because there's like logistically, like there's actually a lot. Like until I think it's really important that you go away because then it's only then you realise how much stuff you do.
Yeah,
and you're like, like it took me a long time to go on holiday, and then things will go wrong, and people calling me, and it's like, okay. Well, like, how do I make sure that doesn't happen again? And then those things really help you put the systems in place to be able to, to delegate it and just like offload some responsibility, which kind of is really important in day to day, even when you are there.
Yeah.
So I realised that also this, if you're going away for a period of time that's significant, i.e. like there's a whole week, and possibly into the next week, whatever. There should be a handover period where if you all take responsibility most of the time, then everyone else knows what's going on, and that can seamlessly shift into something else. It's like even like the scheduling, for example, like if Charlie's doing all the quoting, it's like, okay, well, fine. I mean that needs to be considered within the diary so that it's not like, fuck, the jobs have gone, over and there's no time for quoting. Or if there is, it's all been on the weekend, that costs money. And it's all setting that up, and then it's like, okay, normally when I hand a price over to Amy, I'll give a description and then a price, but when Charles does it, he will be giving how long it's going to take someone. Okay, well, does Amy know exactly what that converts to and what we need to get for the week? And it's all just like that sort of stuff, whereas before, like, I was very involved with organising the diary. Now it's like, this is how much money we need to make. We know how much time it's going to take. That can be scheduled without me now. It's all those kind of things. Do we need to get bits? We know all the suppliers that we get bits from, i.e. chain, oil, chains, whatever, where to get stuff fixed. That doesn't need to have me involved at all.
No,
I don't need to be involved in that.
Yeah.
And that can all be handed over. Maintenance stuff, we all know what needs to be done maintenance-wise. Is there a free day on Friday? We've got half a day maintenance-wise. I don't need to get involved with the maintenance stuff, apart from the bigger stuff, we know what needs to be done. So it's all those kind of things.
Because we fixed the thing, didn't we?
But that's a bigger thing. Yeah, no one's going to fucking do that apart from me.
Know that.
Yeah, that was mental.
But it's one of those things, isn't it? I think if you've gone away,
Yeah.
it gives you that chance to actually see, well, can your team actually perform on their own? Because usually so many of the team will go, I'm not saying about your team specifically, but like teams, they'll say, yeah, we can do it, we know what we're doing. But if you're left on their own devices to see how they can actually perform, and then you see how much you are effectively the glue that's holding it all together, and then you can work on those bits which you can hopefully, see where the gaps in their knowledge are, so that you then can give them more training and focus in certain areas, so that then you can start to step back. Because I always think the best businesses are ultimately the ones where the people in charge are able to go away and leave it to the teams to be able to do it. And you can then just focus on, the headline issues, are we making money? How much money are we making? Where are we? Where's the strategy going to be when we take it forward? What areas we want to get in? All those types of things, rather than having to do the micromanagement of jobs on site, ordering shit, doing your cash flow, all that stuff.
Yeah. I would think, like I said, last time I went away, I didn't get a single phone call. But sometimes it's the message like, oh, I'm just going to do this. All cool? Like,
Yes.
I'm all right with that. Like, wake up in the morning and look at that, catch up. Yeah, all good. And then that's,
And that's what my comment next was going to be. It's funny, like you said, every team, we can do this. Yeah. We understand that you have the knowledge and to do the project, to do what you physically need to do, but it's the decision making. That's all it is. It's not down to your guys, can they go up and do the tree safe? Of course they can. It's just that decision of we're going to do that one first or that one first, and that gets everyone stuck. And you're just like, if you just had, like you said, all it needs is that thumbs up, you know. But I've had a conversation with my team the other day. Was like, you know, I got a message. Rabbit. They said to me, look, actually, I can't answer this one. I was like, there's something came about, and we could actually get some material for another project in the future. So it was one of those, couldn't be changed, you know. But I got a phone call, and I said, give me a shout in the morning. I got a phone call, and that was it. I was like standing there going, yeah, what do you want? You know, what, yes or no? What's no? I hadn't organised anything. I'm just ringing you, and it was like, the communication before. It's like, you know what you need. You've done this before. How many links do you need? Why is this just a phone call to me? You're coming to me with a problem, no solution.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I said, right. I'll tell you what you do. You respect the fact that I'm away on holiday, and you come back with a better answer. Boom, boom. Suddenly, I get a message back. This is how long the job is. This is how many we need. These are the prices that we can get it from there. Thumbs up. Now we're sucking D's.
Yeah, well, you just have to do that, though, don't you?
But it's under. But the thing is, for me, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
But there is a there's a management thing there of going, well, that team member didn't do that, so that needs to be clear.
Yeah, but sometimes it only comes to the surface when that kind of thing happens.
Yes,
you can try and say
yes,
it, but it's
yes.
only from like, I remember last time that happened. They'll, like, your team will talk together and be like, "Oh, do you remember when that happened last time?" Rye was like, "Until you come to me with something, you know, like it's you can say it. You could be like, right, don't ring me, just come to that bit." They're like a bit stuck.
No,
like,
I know.
It has to be. That,
I agree.
You basically have to have a few ruined holidays. I mean,
and I'm not
ruined.
And I said to the guys, I said, look, I came back and I said, hey guys, first of all, please book some holiday, because if you come back the way I feel, this is going to be a good summer. You know, like if does anybody need some time? You know, like has it been? You know, does anyone need time? But I said, look, I do not want to hear, we got a Wednesday morning meeting tomorrow and then a Friday management meeting. But tomorrow morning's meeting, I said, I do not want to see finger pointing of, you know, it's not about that. It's not about, well, they should have been doing it. It's like, what happened, guys? This.
Yeah.
Let's move, like, what can we do? Like, together.
Also, I think that, like for example, when I go off that time that, like, last year when, like, my holiday was really compromised because of it, like, first of all, like, the guys had never been put in that situation before.
Yeah.
And like it was like it was quite a unique thing where like problems after problem, and like, you know, you get jobs like that, like problem after problem after problem, and like things well out of their control as well. So you have to be like, one, they're in a position they haven't been done before, and then also coupled with the systems that weren't in place there, you know, like there wasn't that. It all had to come through me. Like, it had to come through me, and it was like, this has happened. Whereas now, if that happened, it'd be like, well.
Sort it out.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think they would like they just crack on. It's just that, like, and they completely have every tool in the arsenal to be able to just do that, and they really do. Which is, and like, I think a lot of it is just like, it's up to you a lot of the time to learn these things. You know?
Definitely, and that's what I have come back with. I've come back with what you know. My message on the management chat was, what can I do better? You know, like, what can I do? But you're going to meet me halfway. Yeah, that's what it is.
I think with this thing, he's trying to get people to think. Because I remember one of our clients once, and he was a good chap. He gave us plenty of work and that. But it was always, I remember him saying, "I want solutions, not problems." Because everyone sort of comes to you with like, "Oh, I can't do this. How do I do this? What do I do?" And that doesn't help, and it doesn't help their thinking. What you want is like, okay, there's going to be a problem, and you want them to come to you and say, "Look, this has happened. What I think you should do is this."
Yes. Yeah.
Because then they're starting to become autonomous. So they're identifying what a problem is, and they're identifying a potential solution. And you can then decide whether that solution's okay. Or you can go back to them and say, yeah, that might work, but what about the effect on timing? What about the effect on cost? And so they can go away and rethink it. And I think sometimes you going away on holiday and being away, they're forced to actually then think about things, because, like, if you're not contactable at all, and that job needs to be finished, you don't want to, you know, they should be able to come up with the solutions to make sure that job is bloody well done. And if they don't, you know, they're going to get a complete rocket. So, and I think it's solutions rather than problems. That's what you've got to try and instill in people.
There's no problems, only solutions. And I think that's a very good point, because, you know, the moment that you get a phone call and you're like, here's the issue, now I have to go to get into your shoes, think about everything you're going through to come up with a solution. And you're like, I'm not in the frame. So the time it takes me to catch up,
go back, understand it all.
And I was like, I can't, you know, and then because that person's then starting to think about it, You're like, well, now where are you?
Yeah.
Do you know or don't you?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think it is. I think it was a really interesting, fuck, lad, go away on a level, yeah. I swear, I cannot tell you, standing in the ocean and just having a complete moment alone, everything's flooded in. Like, things that I wanted to flood in, things that I wanted to think about, things about, I'm not thinking about jobs. I'm not thinking about, because this is my holiday. For me, I'm sitting in the sea and I was going, where do I want to take this? What do I want to do? Because this is beautiful. Look at this. I'm looking around going, what do you want to do? And the things that I thought about, the things that I went, oh, I can do that. Like, that's what we can do. There's where it is.
I think
it was amazing.
I think also, like, going away, as like you've been on the beach, you've had some time on your own, like you're away from your business because you're miles away. Like, it's not. I think when you're in work and you're doing the mundanity of like work, and you're just in it all the time, and then you're even your social life as well. It's a whole cycle of like. I mean, not everyone's like this, but I know I am. I know you probably are as well. We work hard in the week, and we go out the weekend, and we have it large. We do that most weekends, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, then Monday you're tired, and then it all comes to Friday again, and then you're in this big circle, and it's like, none of it is relaxing, realistically. Like, it's all just like full on, full power. Like, I'm like, get up early in the morning, you're off, I'm off, quoting, whatever, get to Friday, beers with the lads, Saturday you're out, and then back to Monday again. It's just, you don't get moments yourself, really.
On that as well, I've had a conversation with my girlfriend about it, saying, look, when we go back, I do want to have one weekend a month where it's like, what do? We take time out for ourselves and we do something, and I am going to leave my phone at home. I'm going to put it away, because you're right. I think
if you jumped in the car and just like, I went camping or whatever it is.
How funny is we say camping?
Yeah.
How funny. We're going to take the dog, go
nice,
camping. But that's it. And the thing is, I think that's the one thing I recognise, was that I never got to a Monday morning feeling, relaxed, because meeting up with you and having a fucking beer, we always would do that, of course. But for me, there wasn't, I guess, I'd like to have a beer, meet up and have a beer to catch up with you, rather than going, there's an issue, as in, there's work, I'm going to just stop that for a minute, have a drink with you. It's like, no, actually, yeah, everything's done, dusted, put to bed. What is it? Friday. Let's go.
I think, it's like, I think you have that, when you go away, you have a little bit of space to actually switch off, so that then you can start thinking about the bigger issues that, what actually is important in your life. Do you like what you're doing with the business? Do you like, do you think, are there bigger picture issues? You tend to start to focus on those rather than like the detail. And it gives you a bit of chance to, blue sky think about your company. Where do you want to take it? What do you want to do? Are you enjoying it? And that's the good thing about going away, just to switch off, so you can think about the strategy, all the things that you can't do on the day-to-day because you're so focused on the detail of a job.
Yeah, but it's also nice to not think about anything to do with the work as well.
No,
like nothing to do with it. It's a massive part of our lives, our businesses. Obviously, it's huge and it's every day and whatever.
I dream about it. I think about it when I go to bed. I wake up in the middle of the night, bang, and I'm thinking about the work. I'm thinking about the jobs. I'm thinking about must do this, must do that. It's constant. It's absolutely I'm constantly, my phone is constantly going off. I'm constantly thinking about what's happening next, and there isn't any time. And you're right, there is absolutely go away and don't think about it at all. Yes. But as JB said, oh lad, I'm walking through the sea, and I've watched this plank float past me, and I went, that's a bit of fucking composite decking. And I laughed, going, that used to be a shipwreck one time. Now aliens are going to come down and be like, what the fuck is this in the sea? It used to be ships. Now we've got composite rolling around. And
Jake wasn't around, was he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What are you doing with it? Well, the offcuts go.
Jake?
No, yeah. No, it was the composite. Yes, you've got a recycled product. Yes, it's there are key elements to it that are okay and are good. But for me, I'm like, do I stand by it? Do I want to? Where do I want to be? What would I rather see? I'd rather see a nice bit of hardwood road past. Because I would. I don't want like, for me, it's like, is there, I was thinking about, the impact of the environment. I'm standing there thinking, well, hang on a minute. There's a product that I put my hand to and it's in this ocean. Why? you know, and I'm like, that's not okay, you know, like, so then my, you know, I've always been, I love recycling, I love upcycling, you know, that for me is a key, and I found this complete urge to be like, I want to do something about this. You know, I want to make sure that this doesn't happen. You know, if it does happen, you know, what are we doing about it? You know, that kind of way. I think for me that was, you know, there was a realization of, you know, that's what I want to be doing. You know, I want to be looking.
So much shit ends up in the ocean. It's crazy.
But it's not okay.
Oh mate, it's not, because we're sending it all to China.
Yeah.
We're sending it to the Philippines. It literally goes in a massive fucking
you seen-
boat, but they buy it off us and then they burn it over there. Well, quite often they just fucking chuck it in the sea.
They put there was a, go on.
But anyway, as we're moving slightly off time,
Oh, sorry.
fair.
and we're
That's why we
getting
need
towards
you.
the end of our time.
So come back to recycling, we will.
We'll do another one on recycling because that's an important thing. But so you come back, you're refreshed, you're happy,
Oh, lad, I just
raring to go.
silly. Like as in, I have not felt like this since I started my company.
Right.
Like that's.
We'll see what you're like at the end of the week.
No, lad, it won't take long. It's only fucking exactly.
And how are you doing, Billy? You're good? Refreshed?
Mate, top of the world there, lad. I mean, the weather's good. I actually got on the tools today.
Did you?
Yeah, mate.
Bloody hell, you're
Good
right.
stuff.
Well, do you know what? I had to buy these chainsaw traps.
No, you did that. What I asked
I
you?
did. I had to buy them because I was like, where the fuck are my chainsaws? I haven't worn them in months. And I looked around, I was like, where the... And I've lost them. I have no idea where they are.
Good stuff. Good
So,
stuff.
I've
So
got
you're
some new
happy?
ones.
You're
Yeah,
good? You
and
got
it
your
was
20
nice.
pants on?
It was nice to get on the tools with the lads there. We had a job in Sutton going on, and we had a job in Bromley going on.
Nice.
I was on the job in Bromley, and it
Good-o.
went well. All was good. I was having a laugh with the lads there.
Good-o.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stop you
Desperate
there.
to wind it up.
And I'm
there.
going to wind it up as I'm trying to get him to shut up. And I'm going to
Let's talk
thank
about
all our
recycling there.
listeners from all around the world who've been listening in. They've been from everywhere. The
Wicked.
audience is growing significantly. Bigly. It's growing
Bigly.
bigly. So thank you everyone for listening in. Give us a like, give us a
Subscribe,
comment,
nail
all
answers
that sort of
moi.
stuff. Share it around, tell everyone about it, and we'll catch you next time for another Outside Crowd podcast.